Sandra.
Hello,
How are you?
I'm good.
I'm good. Sorry for my allergies. I know we're just talking about my shitty allergies.
Yeah, all good. I think it's the season.
Yeah, I know. So talk to me a little about yourself. So this podcast or our interview is just about you, getting to know where you're from, what you do, how you got into the business that you do. Now another side business that we'll touch on as well. So yeah, introduce yourself to the masses.
Yeah. Well, I am Sandra. I am a local here in Las Vegas. I've lived here for my whole life. Originally born in Palm Springs, but I've been here since a wee youngin'. So I've seen the city grow in multiple different ways. That's where I'm from.
So Palm Springs, do you like, is that where your family was living? Obviously they were living there maybe, and then they migrated to Vegas, or?
So my family came from Bosnia, actually.
Oh, okay.
As Bosnian refugees in the 90s. And then they all kind of landed different times in Palm Springs. And it's so funny. My parents never knew each other in Bosnia. They lived like down the street from each other.
Oh, shit.
And then they met in Palm Springs.
Okay.
And then, had me there. And then we all moved. My grandma got a really good engineering job here in Las Vegas. So we all just kind of followed her. And that's how we came to Vegas.
Oh wow, that's so
Late
basically
90s.
like neighbors, like down the street. And then so you moved here. How old were you when you moved here?
A few months.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Very little.
Okay. So fast forward, high school, and you're graduating. And then
Yes.
so what did you do? What was your life like right after graduation, or what did you want to do after graduation?
Yes, after graduating high school, I don't know, I kind of just left it open. I wanted to take a little break from school. I knew I wanted to go to college, but I wanted to just kind of see exactly what I wanted to do because I wasn't so sure. So I was thinking more of like a business aspect. I took like a 2-year break, just living. I was working as like a babysitter.
Awesome.
And then
That's a hard job.
yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, definitely. But the kids were great. So I got lucky. But so once I did go to college, I figured out that I wanted to do project management, which was pretty broad. And so I was like, I can do anything in business in project management. So I chose that. I got my bachelor's in project management. And then, I just entered the business corporate world.
Okay. And so, all right, you're in the corporate world. What was your first job you landed out of college?
So what's so funny is I landed a job at a shooting range, and I was just like, because I wanted something where it's like, okay, I can still be going to school and then work at something that like could give me a new skill.
Yeah.
So I chose the shooting range because I was always kind of scared of guns.
Really?
And I was
Okay.
like, okay, time to learn how to use them. So I was at a shooting range for like 2 years, and then COVID hit. And that's when I was just like, okay, well, now I have nothing to do. Yeah, that was fun, but like, okay. And then I got a call from one of my parents' friends, and this was 2020. So this is when refis were absolutely blowing up. And he calls me and he's like, I am drowning in work. I need an assistant. And I was like, okay, I'll take it. So that's how I initially got into the loan officer job. I started as an assistant for multiple different top producing loan officers. I would say I was working under maybe 3 at a time.
Okay.
And then it like got more and more as I went.
So you're a pretty badass then if you got more and more.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
Well,
awesome.
they were just all drowning, and like, they couldn't hire fast enough.
Yeah.
So I found myself under like 6 at one point, and I was like, okay, this is a lot of work. But that's what really trained me to understand the back end of the process and really helped me understand everything from contract to close. And I got really good at that. I moved to a couple different companies, and I landed with under one loan officer at this one company, and she like is an ultimate badass. Like, shout out Caitlin Duffy. She's badass VA. Like, she's
awesome.
incredible.
Yes.
So she taught me a lot of different like structures and systems and how to build my business. And learning under her, I was like, wow, I'm closing all these loans for her, and like I'm getting kind of good at it. Why don't I just start producing myself? So that's when I got licensed, and then I became a producing loan officer / assistant still. I gained a little bit of momentum, and then I just said, screw it, I'll make
Fuck
the
it.
jump. And yeah, exactly. You said the words, thank you. So I made the jump
We
to
can curse.
okay, fuck it. I made the jump to a full producing loan officer about 2 years ago.
Okay, awesome. So, man, all right, so many things. So let's touch on the shooting range first, and then we'll transition. So,
Okay.
what was your favorite gun that you got to shoot at the shooting range that you can remember?
That I can remember. I know that was so long ago. It was the saw. It
Okay.
was called like the saw something. All the numbers I don't know, but like you just set it on the table and it's like so fast, automatic weapon, like insane.
Yeah.
That one
Powerful?
was crazy, powerful.
Yeah.
It was wild. It was like military grade.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, my personal favorite gun to shoot, not even my favorite, but just like my personal carry. I just do like a Glock 43.
Yes. Let's go.
Yeah, it's tiny enough.
Wait,
to
so you
fit.
have one?
Yes, I
Oh,
have
okay,
one.
sweet.
Yeah,
Okay.
just put it in my pocket.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So you went
No
from
one
like
knows.
not carrying any guns, not knowing about
nothing,
guns. Now
yeah.
you're like, I have one now. and
Yes,
don't
I
fuck
have.
with
Yeah,
me.
I have a couple now.
Oh,
I
sweet.
actually like this other one. It's a short range rifle. It's like an AR, but it's 9mm. And
Okay.
it's very, it's like short, but like there's no recoil because it's not a big caliber.
Okay.
And it's insane. I forget the name of it specifically.
But you have it.
I don't have it. I shoot it
Okay.
sometimes with my friends outside.
right.
He calls it, it's like a bronze color, so he calls it bronzy. And I'm like, can I shoot bronzy? It's the best
get at
gun
this.
ever. I need
Okay.
it.
Awesome. So, what's a fun memory that you have from the shooting range?
A fun memory. Ooh, okay. So there is a shooting range next door to the one that I worked at. It was called Top Shot, and Conor McGregor came there. It was before his fight with Floyd.
Okay.
So Conor McGregor came and he went through the whole experience, and I kind of got to like be with him, I guess, and like his crew and like talk to them, and that was really
Was he
cool.
cool?
Yeah, that was
Cool
my
guy?
favorite memory. Yeah, for sure. He was really cool.
Awesome.
He was skinny when he came because
Yeah.
he dropped all that weight before the fight.
Yeah. Now he's
So I looked at him and I was like, this man is smaller than me. It was crazy, but
now
yeah.
he's pretty built. Okay.
Yeah, he's
So
running for president.
yeah. Really?
Yes, he's gonna run for president of Ireland. I think he's gonna win. He's taking like
That's
Trump's
kinda crazy.
whole thing.
Just being
Marketing,
wild and like,
yeah.
let's go.
Yeah.
Be loud. So okay. Shooting range done, and then you decided to. So how was that transition from like fucking shit up and being like having fun and
Yeah.
not? I don't know. I don't want to say not structured, but coming into like the business world of things and like finance. So how was that transition for you, and was it difficult?
I don't think it was difficult. I think I work very well under pressure, and like I don't mind change. So when that opportunity presented itself, especially after quarantine and like a long time of like, what am I gonna do now?
Yeah.
I wanted to take my life more seriously, and I was like, okay, time to actually venture into something that could be a lifetime career.
Yeah.
So the change, what I wouldn't say was difficult. It was very interesting going into it as that assistant, brand new. Like I didn't know anything. I didn't have, an education on it. I understood the business side, but I didn't understand, the
loans
specifics
and like
exactly.
the lingo and the verbiage. All
yeah,
that stuff.
I was so lost.
Yeah.
I was just, that was really hard, kind of getting thrown into the wolves, but I learned you learn quickly,
You have to,
so
yeah.
you have to
100%.
adapt for sure. So yeah, that was interesting.
So what was this bank that you started at? The first one?
Supreme Lending.
Supreme Lending.
Yeah, I started with Supreme.
Okay.
They were great. I got a new opportunity at Neighborhood Loans. They're
Okay.
a local
Yeah.
lender out here. Worked for them for a little bit as well. And then I finally moved to Union Home Mortgage. They
Yes.
are more East Coast based in Ohio. And
That's where Caitlin's at, right?
Yes. Well,
Okay.
actually, no, not anymore. Not anymore, no.
Where's she at now?
Neighborhood Loans, interesting enough.
So she's okay. Neighborhood.
Yeah.
She was at Union.
Yes.
And now she's at Neighborhood.
Neighborhood,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Dang.
I know.
So, what would you say is I talk to a lot of loan officers. I talk to a lot of realtors, and so a lot of loan officers are pretty shitty. Same thing with realtors. Some of them are pretty shitty. What would you say makes a really, really good loan officer now that you've done like the back end work and now that you're in the forefront of it? So what would you say makes a really, really good loan officer?
I know this might sound cliche, but communication,
Yeah.
I think, is huge. You'd be so surprised to hear every single realtor I ask them, I'm like, what is your number one problem that you see with the loan officers that you work with? And they always, 9 out of 10 times, they say communication.
Yeah.
And that blows my mind. It's like, how hard is it to answer the phone? Especially like we're on our phones all day.
Or
you can't pick up, you know what I mean? Or text, anything.
Yeah.
So communication, I feel like that's huge to make a good loan officer. And also follow up.
Yeah.
Keeping in touch with the people, staying top of mind with people, especially not just clients, but with the agents that you're working with.
Yeah.
Constantly.
So how do you stay organized? Like, so you touched on follow-up. How do you stay organized? So like, let's say you receive 10 leads, 20 leads in a month, 30 leads in a month. And some of them are ready, some of them are ready, some of them need work. What's your process like to stay organized?
So previously, I would just honestly use my own spreadsheets. I would just go in Excel and I would make a whole thing, and I use my calendar in my phone as well. So I would personally, instead of using like an actual CRM, I would go in my calendar, I would mark, okay, 3 weeks from this date or 6 months from this date, I'm going to contact this person again and make sure touch and follow up. So I, and Caitlin, shout out Caitlin, she really did teach me all of that as well. So it was,
so it sounds like the simple shit.
It's the simple shit. Yeah. And honestly, I don't think I'm that busy enough to like, not be like organized, you know what I mean? So it's very easy for me to be organized if I'm getting like 10 leads a month or, 15 leads a month. But yeah, once you get up to that higher point, I believe in CRMs for sure. My company has a really good CRM that we use that does the follow-up for you. But still, again, with the communication, I believe this is a relationship-based industry. 100%. And I highly believe that if you're making the calls personally, then it's just that extra step or just that added touch that adds value to who you are in 100%. This business. Yeah.
So, okay, Supreme, neighborhood, Union, you left the amazing Caitlin. And then so what was that conversation like? Because she was kind of your mentor. I guess my question is, did she know that you wanted to be a loan officer eventually? And then 2, how was that transition from, okay, I have a steady paycheck coming to now like, shit, I gotta hustle?
That was interesting for sure. So, well, actually, surprisingly enough, Caitlin was the one that pushed me to be my own loan officer.
Oh, okay.
She was like, I see you being a better loan officer than you are an assistant. Like, no offense, but because it was especially being under because Caitlin's very type D. She's very like driver. She's no bullshit, no fluff, no nothing. She's very blunt. So working with someone like that was like, okay, I really have to be on my game.
Yes.
So she was like, dude, you're killing it in closing the loans. Like, you have the personality. Just go out there. You can sell now yourself as like this, a loan officer. So she was, she really did push me. And I remember the conversation, we had happy hour at like Slater's 50/50 and we like had drinks, and she was like, I think it's time for you to be like, you're gaining this momentum, just do it. And I was like, okay, whatever. So, and yeah, sure enough, as soon as I left Caitlin, me and my really good agent/friend, Christina, we closed like 9 loans off of social media, like within 3 months.
Let's go.
That was awesome. Yeah. So I gained a lot of traction like that. And that really made me hungrier to, go from receiving that paycheck to now it's like, okay, this is commission only. And this is the beauty of it.
Yes. So I like that you touched on, some people are not assistants, but like on the back end, because if you're super busy, so kind of like Caitlin, right? You cannot do everything. You can't do the pre-approvals. You can't do follow-ups. You can't chase conditions. You can't do all this. So I had this conversation with my realtors, like, hey, look, I can only do so much. So this is why I have Natalie. This is why I have Stephanie that help me do X, Y, and Z, so that I'm able to spend more time with you and I'm able to do my pre-approval consultations with clients. It's kind of like the doctor or the dentist, right? Like when you go to the dentist or the doctor, you talk to the receptionist, then you go to the back, then you talk to the nurse. Then the doctor comes in for 5-10 minutes like, hey, you have this, and that, or how are you, then they do their thing, right? So that's how I try to run my business. So I guess why I'm saying this is, somebody that might be watching this and says, well, I want to get into sales. I think they also have to make sure that they know what sales is, right? Because it's a lot harder to get the business than it is to like do the business, right? 100%. So what would you say, how would you tell them like, hey, this is how you know if you are going to be good at getting the business versus doing the business?
Yes. So I really like referring to this. I'm sure you've heard of the DISC test.
Yes.
So that's when I said like, oh, Caitlin's type D. She's very high D.
Yeah.
I would say you have to have the personality for the sales. So like if you have that, straightforwardness, if you have that driver instinct, I believe that's when you're really good at sales. And that's how you know it's like, okay, I can accept the rejection. I'm not going to take it emotionally. I'm not going to be sad about it.
Yes.
You just move on and you deal with the next thing. If you're the type of person that's very, like I said, you're emotional. You kind of deal with, you're a little bit more calculated, maybe like you're really good with numbers or something like, in that aspect. I feel like that's how maybe you'd be like a better person dealing with all the documents and organizing the documents.
Yes.
And like you're kind of better on the back end versus the front end where it's like, okay, I'm dealing with people all day, I'm dealing with rejection all day. So you just have to have that personality where it's like, okay, this is neither going to make or break me, but we just have to do it. So if you want to do sales, that's how you have to be.
I think sales is high. I think this is what I am. High D and high I, right? Is the sales. And then the other one is, do you remember? Like if you're not in sales, you're like, if you take the disc and you're not in sales, you won't have the D or the I.
Right. Yeah. You're more high S.
Yes.
S is, I think, the least amount of sales.
Yes.
And C is the very calculated one. That's the one. So I love my clients that are C's because it's so funny. They want to see the numbers. They want to like understand everything. So that's the one you have to like screen share with and like, here we go. Here's everything broken down. Here's the everything. So, yeah.
So really, so you're saying is like, hey, take the disc, be honest on the disc.
Yes.
Because you can't like, if you're lying to the disc, then you're lying to yourself. Right?
Absolutely.
So be honest with it. And then if you have high D, high I, then you're most likely sales. And if you don't, then you're 100% not sales.
Right. Exactly.
You can try it and you're not going to like it. It's going to drain you.
Yep. For sure.
But you can try it.
Yeah. It will definitely eat at you.
Yeah. It's like, shit, I want to go back to the back end. I want to just look at the numbers, structure everything, and make sure shit's flowing. So, okay, now you joined the broker world, and we're touching on that a little bit. How are you liking the broker world?
I really like it. I like having the option of, there's so many different companies that you can use and so many different rates that you can choose. And there's each company has a different program that they can offer. So that's really fun in the broker world versus retail. You only have like one price sheet and that's it. So it's interesting. I love it a lot. The people are great. The team is great. It's interesting. The jump was very interesting because now I'm like, who do I use? We have a whole list of like, what do we use for what? So it's funny going from.
Are you guys UWM or Rocket?
UWM.
Okay. What are your thoughts on UWM?
Shout out, we're UWM. They're awesome.
Yeah.
They're awesome. They're so quick. Like I will submit conditions for underwriting and I will have it literally, if not same day, less than 24 hours for sure.
It's way different than retail, right?
It's so much different because retail, it's like, okay. But then again, okay, so with retail, I liked having my specific underwriters that I was working with and I knew them very well. So it's like, okay, I could call them and ask any questions or like call them and be like, hey, heads up, this is what's coming. Now it's like, okay, I don't know who I'm getting. But at the same time, they're very quick. They answer all my questions. It's great working with UWM.
Awesome. So transitioning from like the broker and retail talk, how are you, because you said you're using social media to generate business, how are you using that? Is it just videos? Are you partnering with your realtors?
Yes.
How are you doing it?
So I am trying to get as much content out there as I possibly can. I'm not doing YouTube or anything like that, but I believe having my social media presence is what's attracting new agents to me. So I haven't gotten leads directly from social media from clients. However, I have received a bunch of messages from agents saying, hey, would love to work with you because of this, this, and this, or hey, do you want to do a video together? And that's kind of how we, go into more of a transactional relationship with, doing loans together or deals together. So that's definitely worked in my favor with the social media. Okay,
so you're using social media. So it's kind of like me. I use social media just to have an online presence. But for me, it's easier to connect with a realtor or a loan officer that's already following me or that we're like subtly engaging, whether it's
sure.
he likes one of my videos or comments,
Yeah.
then I feel a little bit easier shooting him a DM like, hey man, thanks for the support, I appreciate it, and then kind of casually going into that conversation.
I love that you mentioned that because that's how I work. Like I am not salesy. Like I do sales and I'm very good at sales, but I don't like being the, hey, would love to work with you on your next transaction, or you know what I mean? I just am not like that. I would rather be myself and have like attract the people around me that are like mutually the same mindset, you know what I mean? So I really like to be myself and be like, hey, this is what I add. I know what I can do. Like if you're on that same page, like let's get it.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay, awesome. So ending our podcast or whatever we call this, I don't know, I just like creating content. What's your goal for this year? What did you set as your goal, either whether it's production or whether it's like, hey, I want to help this many families, or I want to get more relationships with realtors? Where are you at? We're midpoint almost, so where are we at?
I definitely want to ramp up production. Like whatever I'm doing now, I want to try and do it more. So, and it's interesting balancing the new little business venture that I have and this job. So it's definitely like, I feel like my new little business venture has opened up this, like, it's a little fire under me for my loan business now too. Cause I'm like, okay, I'm gearing up for this job. Now I'm putting on so many hats. So it's like, I definitely want to do more. I want to ramp up volume. I do want to make more relationships with agents for sure. Okay. But yeah, I just want to, whatever I'm doing now, I need to do more.
Awesome. So I'm glad that you touched on I don't want to call it a side business. It's just, it's another business.
Yeah.
So give us the cliff notes of what you're doing, how they can find it, where they can get it, all that good stuff.
Yes. So I just opened up a little business called Med Tallow. It is a organic, completely sustainable, all natural skincare company. I only have one product right now. I do want to venture out into more, but I currently have an everything balm, and that is something that is made with 4 ingredients. And the key ingredient.
Wait, 4.
4.
Guys,
you can eat it.
Jeez.
You can eat it.
This is amazing. Yes.
So that's why I love it. Cause I'm like, everyone is transitioning from that whole chemical plastic like lifestyle. And all these huge brands at Sephora, like Lancome and Clinique and all these things, like, yes, do they make your skin nice? Yeah, but like they are disrupting your hormones and it's just unnatural. And it's like,
they're I'm trying your shit up.
Yeah, I'm trying to help you guys. So it's really fun. I made that, and you can find it on medtallow.com, MEDTALLOW, Medtallow.
Medtallow.com. Okay.
And I also have an Instagram, Medtallow.
Awesome. And so if people have questions, can they DM you? Where can they find you?
Yeah,
Let them know.
100%.
All that good stuff.
Yes. So Sandra Closes Loans _ is my Instagram for my real estate / loan business. You can find me on there personally, and then the Med Tallow, you can find us on Instagram, Facebook. I did make a TikTok, but we're trying all different things here. Yes. You could possibly see my ads coming out soon for Med Tallow. But yes.
Nice. Yeah. Anything that you want to leave the viewers? Anything? Can they text you? You gave them your social, send you a DM, anything that you want to leave before we head out.
Man, just this is a
reach
deep
out
question.
Reach out to her for some damn business.
Absolutely.
Guys. Let's go.
Come on. Whether it's skincare.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. I can help you, glow, look like this.
You do have flawless skin. It looks like, wow. Yeah.
Thank you.
It looks
I appreciate it.
Yeah. It's not the lights. It's like legit.
Thank you.
So do you, wait, before we leave, are you a huge makeup person, not makeup person, very casual?
Very casual.
So what's on your face right now?
A little bit of concealer, a little bit of bronzer and blush for the camera. Okay. But when I'm out, like I will do like barely anything. I believe less is more. Yeah. And like the more makeup, the more it shows the wrinkles on your skin. So it's like just wear your sunscreen, make it dewy. Like that's the key here.
So I'm a guy, right? Obviously. And we have conversations with our other guy friends, and my wife, she doesn't wear any makeup. Maybe she'll do, what's that stuff that you put
mascara.
Mascara. And when she puts that on, I'm like, dang babe, okay. Like
we're going out tonight.
Yeah, we're going out tonight. So she's very like, she wears her wrinkles or whatever she has, right? I talk to all my guy friends and we're like, I prefer somebody that looks very, very natural versus somebody who is caked up. And I feel like, I don't know. it just looks better.
For sure. No, I totally agree with you.
Okay.
If just wear it with confidence,
Yeah.
like fuck the wrinkles, who cares?
Yes.
Like whatever,
Get
dude.
old.
Like at the end of the day, like when you're yourself, I feel like people respect that even more, whether it's being authentic to your personality or just like your makeup, your face. Like when people have, I always talk about this too, like it bugs me when people get nose jobs sometimes because I'm like, fuck, your old nose fit your face so well. Like that fit you.
Yeah.
So it's just, you know, a gap in a teeth, like whatever, like just own that shit. Like you're you. That's what's beautiful. It sounds cliche again, but at the same time, it's real. It's real.
My
shit.
wife, because talking about gaps, she regrets getting her veneers because she had a gap in her teeth. She's like, I wish I would have left it because it's unique. It's like,
veneers. Don't get me started on veneers.
Yes, she absolutely hates her veneers. So if you're thinking about getting them, don't. Just enjoy your teeth.
Invisalign or something and whiten your teeth. Like that's you.
Yeah.
And also you can't feel your teeth under them, I feel like.
No, she says she can't. And it falls off sometimes and I get scared. I'm like, what the babe, what the fuck? You're about to scare me. Yeah, exactly. It's like a little thing. I'm like, no, I don't want to see that.
No, I agree. That's so funny. But
Sandra, thank you so much. I appreciate your time. I know you're crazy busy. So guys, if you guys need anything, whether it's tallow, which I don't use hers yet because it just came out, or loans or just partnership, reach out to her. She's amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks.